Welcome to our Good Friday service. It's around noon, and that was the time when Jesus was crucified on the cross. We remember Jesus because he was born as a baby in the stable in Bethlehem. He grew up in Nazareth, and he walked through the region of Galilee, healing the sick, teaching the multitudes about God's love. And this was what led him to be crucified on the cross at Golgotha, also known as Calvary. Jesus was alone on the cross. And we cannot imagine or understand fully the mystery of all that took place with his death. A death he took in our place. A judgment that should have been come to us for all that we've done wrong in our past, our present, and what we will do in the future. He bore in our place. Jesus suffered alone. And whenever someone speaks just before their death, we understand that these final words have some significance. And these last words of Jesus were not accidental. They were spoken for a reason. They were spoken in the midst of agony, in the midst of pain, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And friends, today we read so many stories about individuals who are experiencing that same kind of pain. People dying alone. Families who cannot be with their loved ones. So understand that if you are struggling today with all that is happening in our world, with COVID-19, if your world has been turned upside down, and if you're in agony, then you have come to the right place, the cross. The place where we can see and hear that we are not alone, because Jesus understands the pain and suffering, because he went through it too. So I invite you to spend this next 20 to 30 minutes on your own, just as Jesus was alone on the cross. My hope is that you will see, and as you hear these words from Jesus, you will take time to meditate on each phrase and how it applies to your life and your situation. And I want to encourage you to invite the Holy Spirit to convict you and to console you. Hear these words and sing with me. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Who do you need to ask forgiveness from? What do you need to ask forgiveness for? And who do you need to forgive? Ponder these questions, and then I hope that the scriptures will speak to you.
Today you will be with me in paradise.
The love Jesus has to offer is quite unique in response to the violence of the cross. This love is truly full of mercy. I wonder what mercy really looks like to you. Where is this paradise Jesus is referring to? Could we view the thief on the cross as he did? The thief on the cross was about to die and was afraid. If you are afraid of dying, talk to God. Talk to God about your fears and hear the words of Jesus that can relieve your fears. You can also call and talk to Pastor about any of your fears.
Woman, here is your son. Here is your mother.
Jesus was taking care of his family before his death. So who do you need to care for? Is it your parents, your children, your siblings, your neighbor? And secondly, Jesus cares about each and every one of us because you and I are part of his family. So how is it that you need Jesus to take care of you? Talk to him about that and allow God's Spirit to speak to you.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
When we hear this word, we wonder, why does this have to happen to Jesus? Jesus is feeling so helpless and so abandoned, separated and alone. Have you ever felt that way? Take some time to talk to God about it and know that because Jesus felt this same way, God truly understands how you feel.
I am thirsty.
How thirsty are you in your times of despair? Now, do you recall times when you are parched from crying and your mouth is dry? Think about this. Jesus understands. And because of his shed blood, you can have hope. You can be revived.
It is finished.
With these words, Jesus is completing his call. This is the fulfillment of his ministry and his purpose. Not a cry of giving up, but a cry of accomplishment. What is at the heart of this fulfillment? What does this completion really represent for you? What are some of the things that you need to finish? Take time to think about them.
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit.
In this last statement, Jesus is surrendering his life to the one who knows him best and loves him most. I want you to become aware that you are known and loved immensely by a God who created you and a God who will never leave you. How does that feel for you? What does it mean for you to commit your life into God's hands? You know, to surrender your will, yourself, your finances, your health, your family, all to God. What do you need to do in order to do this? How does that feel? Surrendering to God is not difficult when we can trust him to love and care for us. Friends, it's only when we have gone through the agony of the cross that we can truly appreciate the joy of Easter. So I want to invite you to stay here for a while and maybe even come back tomorrow and experience God at work in your life. Because we are all in a tomb right now as we stay behind closed doors, as we find ourselves confined to our homes. Wrestle with your feelings, your despairs, and your fears, because you are not alone. And in this time, as we remember that we're not alone, I invite you to join in the singing of I Surrender All. Know that God hears you. And may you know God's peace.